Today's July 12th. This is the Invest Institute podcast, and it's the day after Amazon Prime. Did you buy anything, John?
Record sales were up 60% for their Prime Day, and that's, of course, not coming off of a low base. Enough to carry it through 1,000 here again, Andrew.
I know.
Bang!
I know. I didn't do it.
We're up almost $12, or a little over 1.1%. Pretty darn nice, I'd say.
So is it going to stay here? Or are we going to get another opportunity to get it back in below 1,000?
I think you get another opportunity in the 980 level, roughly. But that's not to say that if you had it, that there aren't plenty of things you could do. You could, aggressively write some calls or call spreads. You could replace the stock. That's one of the favorite strategies we have over at Investitute is when Ron teaches people, the stock replacement strategy. And what better? I mean, if you were lucky enough to have 1,000 shares of $100 stock, that's $100,000 bucks.
I know. That's $1 million.
If you have 1,000 shares of $1,000 stock, you're $1 million. Now, I know that's very few of us have that much tied up in Amazon, but that's an awful lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you took that off the table instead and simulated a long position in Amazon, I'll just give you a real quick example there if I could, Andrew. So AMZN, doesn't matter what system you pull it up on. Ours over at E-Trade, which is our option house thing that we built, Pete and I, or if you pull it up on Interactive Brokers, TD Ameritrade, Schwab, wherever you go, you'll see that, for instance, if you wanted to push out, I'd probably go out to September if I was doing a stock replacement, Andrew. So I take off my stock, and I put on, for instance, the 1,000 calls for $45. That's an at-the-money call that's trading $40 over the price of the stock. Because the stock's trading at 1,005. Calls are trading at $45. So that's $40 in call premium. Ooh, big, scary thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, then I'm going to go in there and I'm going to sell, let's see, something maybe, Andrew, like the 1030s against it. If I sell the 1030 calls against the calls that I own, 1-to-1, I'm collecting $31. So I've paid $45, collected $31. The net is $14. So on 1,000 shares, I would have a $14,000 position. 1,000 shares is 10 lot in options. The call spread is trading for $14. So since every option's for 100 shares of stock, I'm saying for that mere $14,000, I'm controlling Amazon from 1,000 to 1,030. I love that. Love it versus tying up all that money in the stock. A stock, by the way, that doesn't pay a dividend, so you don't even have to go there, folks.
1,000 shares, $1 million. It's big boys stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
truly.
One way to play it. I saw you put out wait, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's all right. Well, so just that math again, folks, is, again, if you're paid a net of $14 for that spread, you've put on a $30 spread for $14. Every option's for 100 shares. So that means each option you're trading is $1,400. That's why I said a 10 lot of them is $14,000. But then what could you turn it into? You could turn that $14 into $30. In other words, $16,000 profit if Amazon is above 1130 in September. And if it's not, instead of you wringing your hands saying, oh my God, this thing went all the way back down to, just say, for instance, 800.
Nice.
If it goes to 800 with the stock, you're down $200 times 1,000 shares. That's $200,000. If it goes down to 800 and you happen to be in this call spread and you're on the beach in Saint-Tropez and you come back in September and you say, hey, where's the stock? Well, you lost $14,000. Not the same at all, is it?
Oh, that still hurts, though.
Oh, yeah. It would still hurt. We never like
better than $200,000, but
work.
Still.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna wait. I'll wait till the hate day comes out. I like the strategy. I just want to do it when people are hating on Amazon. I don't know if it never happens. Everybody loves Amazon. It's like
these days they do.
I know.
One of these days they won't again.
Somebody.
You and I both know that.
I'm telling you, it's an antitrust story that's coming out. I'm not saying
not yet.
I'm not saying
they're a
it's
ways out from that.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not going to say that it's because. I'm just going to say somebody's got to say it, and then everybody says, "Really?" And then, of course, 5 days later, somebody will say this is unfounded. It's just Amazon Hate Day. It'll be something. It'll be something really stupid, and then that's the day you run in while everybody's running out.
True.
I saw you looking at FCX, which was interesting.
Freeport.
Yeah. Gold.
Is more or less a play, folks. FCX, like Andrew said, Freeport McMoran. It is a play on the metals, metal space, because they're a mining company. So the stuff they pull out of the ground, some of it's gold, a lot of it's for copper and other metals involved in perhaps making steel and things like that. They also have a component that is invested in oil. Now, this morning, we saw some unusual activity in FCX. I cited it on our site, Investitute.com. They were buying September 14 calls with the stock at 1244. I said I think we can be patient, but you may want to take a look here, because those calls are about $1, give or take $1.46 out of the money, and that's not a huge move for FCX by September. And they were mainly buying those calls for 30 cents. If you're a regular listener, you know that Pete was talking about NRG on Monday. That was a 30-cent option. It went to $2.80 today, Andrew.
I know, I saw. Nice.
So, miss a little, miss a lot, but that's a nice one. And I think Freeport could be a nice one. But I said, let's be patient. It's now slipped by about 17 cents since I posted that. So I'm getting ready to put on a position in Freeport, Andrew.
Yeah, it's noteworthy. Now, the other one you had that I'm kind of like, you know how I feel about Facebook. You're seeing calls in this thing. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
The people I know that use Facebook, they're not using it anymore, John. It's not the way that it used to be. I mean, I'm thinking about quitting, like, real soon. But you're seeing calls in this thing?
Calls.
I don't get
August 175s. So Facebook, folks, that was with the stock trading at 157. So that's, $18 out of the money, give or take. That's it's a cheap shot, and I think that's why the players taken that cheap shot, Andrew, because just like it's not $1,000 stock, but FB trading at 157, 1,000 shares, 157 grand. I think that's why some of these folks are trading the calls instead of trading the stock. And, if they're in there in the in these calls in particular, the August 175s, they're only paying like 50 cents. That tells me it's somebody looking for a quick upside pop. Those calls go to $1 as if the stock makes a move to 160 or 161 and makes it pretty quickly, like let's say in a 3 or 4 day time span, whether it's next week or whatever. I think that's the bet here, and that's why I was willing to put on the trade to follow him.
God bless him. Nothing. I'm not touching that thing. I did to get
Just hate Facebook, huh?
It's not that I hate it. Yeah, I do hate it. I really do. But I'm just.
No, I don't hate. Yeah, I do. I hate it.
No, I just. It's and everybody says the same thing. Why am I on this? Why am I doing this? And then I've noticed that fewer people are posting, and they're not posting as much, and they're not commenting because everything's politically motivated now. So when somebody posts something, it's like you just don't even want to comment on it. I don't know. Facebook's figured out a way to make money off of ads. I don't know. I sold my Square today. Speaking of.
Oh. Now,
punted it. Had a nice
you'd been in Squared a lot longer than me, because I'd been in and out. But Andrew had been talking about this one, folks, since it was 20. Andrew.
Yeah. And then
I think
down.
roughly right.
Yeah,
because beginning of July it was 23, and today it pops to almost 26. Oh, it did hit 26. I see now it did hit 26, but the calls had to treat you pretty well, right?
I bought the stock, and then I doubled down on it because I wanted the time to be right on this, and we did see the activity, which is why I went and bought the stock, and then it went down, and then I doubled down on the stock. And then, I'm just waiting for, the headline risk with Jack, not being able to divide his time up between that and Twitter. And I'm just like, okay, enough of this. And it came back today. It had a nice chart. And I'm just, okay, fine. Took the discipline, took the money off the table. We saw the 30s in it. So, I mean, yeah, maybe I left some money on the table, but you know what? I took a lot off. So I'm happy with that. And I'm moving on. And it's summertime. And,
smart move.
Squared away, as they say.
Squared away. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, thanks.
Let me give you one other, Andrew, before we slip away here over our allotted time at Investitute. What about FCAU?
Really? The
Fiat Chrysler.
I know.
FCAU. August 12 calls bought. Stock's 11.50. They bought those for 40 cents. This could be, Andrew, another one of those like, hey, we're off to the races with this bad boy.
What do you think?
I like it.
What is the catalyst there? The Pope's not going to be driving around on a Fiat, or Jennifer Lopez.
No, I don't think so. I like it.
He drove one of those Fiats when he came to America. The Pope did. Remember?
God bless him. The Pontiff.
The Pontiff Mobile, because he likes small cars. So Fiat, huh? Calls?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep, like it.
Okay, well.
All right. Well, as always, folks, there's always a way to make some money in options. And you can also truncate or almost, never totally, but almost eliminate the downside risk of a bullish bet or the upside risk of a bearish bet by owning calls or call spreads, puts or put spreads. You can learn more about them at Investitute.com. And you can, of course, subscribe to our podcasts through iTunes or YouTube. Thanks for joining me, folks. Please tell a friend about it.